where I go. And every turn that's in the road will lead me home, will lead me home. And the mountains call to me, set me free, set me free. There's nowhere else I'd rather be, lost at sea, it's fine by me. It's my home, my native land. Oh, the north is calling me. As the west winds blow through the shores ahead, singing songs that set me free. That westerly, it sets me free. It's my home, my native land. Oh, the north is calling me. As the west winds blow through the shores ahead, singing songs that set me free. It's my home, my native land. Oh, the north is calling me. As the west winds blow through the shores ahead, singing songs that set me free. That westerly, it sets me free.
All right, that was a new song I wrote called Westerly, about growing up in a very small little town in Canada. So kind of a song reflecting on my roots from Canada. The next song I'm going to do is called Blood in My Veins.
This feeling deep inside my soul tells me where I want to go. Oh, blood in my veins. And if I ever stray from course, my body bends, it bleeds remorse. Oh, blood in my veins. I can't explain it, but there's something deep inside of me. It'll always guide me if I listen to it carefully. I am my flesh and bones, but something else is driving me. Oh, the blood in my veins, yeah. If I die before I'm old, if my story goes untold, oh, the blood in my veins, I could never be set free. My soul would never find its peace. Oh, the blood in my veins. I try to read the message I'm learning day by day. I try to heed the warnings I learn in my own way. And yet I feel I'm falling, can't get the ground to stay. Oh, the blood in my veins, yeah. Oh, oh Lord, I feel I'm falling. Oh, feeling deep inside my soul tells me where I want to go. Oh, the blood in my veins. And if I ever stray from course, my body bends, it bleeds remorse. Oh, the blood in my veins. I can't explain it, but there's something deep inside of me. It'll always guide me if I listen to it carefully. I am my flesh and bones, but something else is driving me. Whoa, the blood in my veins, yeah. Whoa, the blood in my veins, yeah. Whoa, the blood in my veins.
All right, that song was off of my latest EP called In the End, and I'm going to do another song off of that EP as well. This one is called Snow Globe.
Saw an old friend yesterday. We just laughed about how much things all had changed. We were two different people than we had been before. Oh, but some things still remain. Young love is new and can never be explained. Old love's familiar, but you feel it just the same. Like wine, love will grow deeper more with age, but love is only just a game. Just a game. All you wanted was for time to go slow, but you would never have your way. You and me living in a snow globe, so things would always stay the same. Things in life don't stay the same. Time can be hard, and time can treat us kind. It's in the way you see, it's when I'm living blind. Sometimes when fear takes hold, it makes us lose our minds. We all have something left to find. Left to find. All you wanted was for time to go slow, but you would never have your way. You and me living in a snow globe, so things would always stay the same. All you wanted was for time to go slow, but you would never have your way. You and me living in a snow globe, things would always stay the same. Things in life won't stay the same. Things in life are meant to change. Meant to change.
Thank you, Elke. Hello.
Go like this.
That sounded gorgeous. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, first of all, tell me a little bit of background here. How did you get into playing music?
Let's see. Well, I started playing music at a pretty young age. I guess I kind of started in school with like choir, like jazz choir, concert choir, that kind of thing. And just really loved singing music in school and choir. And so then I got a guitar when I was about 15 and started writing my own music.
How did you get the guitar?
My parents got it for me, which was amazing. So they just kind of saw, that I had a love of playing music and that I wanted to be able to accompany myself on an instrument. And I never really went the way of piano as much. I was just really drawn to guitar. And so my dad got me my first guitar. And so that's kind of how it all began, my first guitar.
And you've since kind of added on some collaborations with other musicians.
Mm-hmm, yeah. I like to do a lot of different varieties or setup with my music. So I've always been a little bit folky, so it's always kind of had that acoustic guitar, drums, bass, that type of thing. But with my latest EP, I've been getting a little bit more into like the bluegrassy folk side of things, or even a bit of like alt country, I guess you'd call it. So I like things like banjo and mandolin and pedal steel, and so all that stuff has been on my newer music.
Explains kind of the higher, and I'm trying to think how to put it, the higher frequency on the guitar. It's kind of got the more steel string sound, as opposed to like some acoustic guitars have very warm, deep sound.
Yeah, this is a very bright sounding guitar. Has a little bit to do with the fact that it's a Taylor too. They're very bright, but I've always loved the tone of this guitar.
So you just naturally go towards that tone.
I guess, yeah. I like a guitar that sounds nice and bright. I have a little bit of a lower voice. I guess my voice has a little bit of a deeper grittiness to it, so it's kind of nice to have an instrument with the brighter end of things when my voice is a little on the lower side. It's balance.
There you go. So the musicians you've collaborated with over the years, how did you first meet them? How did that all start?
Yeah, so I've actually played with a lot of different musicians over the years. I'm going to lower this just a little bit. There we go. That's better. So I've played with a lot of different musicians over the years, because especially as a solo acoustic artist, I've kind of always collaborated with different people, sort of depending on the season in my life, I guess you could say. But my bass player is definitely my longest running band member, because my bass player is my husband. And so we've been playing together for about 14 years now, not to date myself too much, but we've been playing together the longest, and then we've sort of just incorporated in different drummers over the years. We've had some different people on keys, and then, as I mentioned, brought in some of those more folky instruments like mandolin and pedal steel just recently in the last year or so, actually.
How did you meet your husband?
At music school, actually. So that totally makes sense, right? We were living in Los Angeles, going to a school called Musicians Institute. So he was in the bass program, and I was actually in the recording program, so not the vocal or the guitar program, but I was going to learn a little bit more of the technical side of things. And we met through a mutual elective class that we had, and I saw him play bass, and I just asked him to be in my band, and the rest is all history from there.
Did you have a band at the time?
No, I moved to LA. I literally just moved to LA with my guitar and a suitcase, very classic, took the train down to LA of all things. So I went there with nothing. I didn't have a band. I was just really trying to figure things out and establish something. So he was the first band member that I found. And then we found a drummer and a guitar player. Actually 2 drummers, because we had someone on drum kit and then someone also on percussion, and so we just built the band from there. But that band only really stayed together for the amount of time that we were in school there.
So what brought you up? Well, first of all, you've kind of gone from Canada to California, back to Oregon.
Yeah.
How did that all transpire? Why did you leave Canada? Yeah. How did you end up going from California up here?
So I guess I left Canada when I was 18. Specifically to go to that school. I knew that's where I wanted to go and learn more about just music and the music industry as a whole. LA is a good city to be in for that. And then I ended up living in LA for about probably 5 years or so. and just, kind of got burnt out on the LA scene, which I think is a pretty classic story. Got burnt out on the LA scene. So actually, me and my husband, so my bass player, we actually ended up doing a bunch of touring after, because we were both a little, just ready to leave LA. So we did a lot of touring along the west coast of the States as well as Canada. We actually did one cross-Canada tour from coast to coast. And then we ended up working as musicians on a cruise ship, of all things. So we took our music to sea, came back from that, and did a full United States and Canada tour. And then it was after that that we were just kind of wondering, like, where should we put down roots? Like, where do we see ourselves going? And he grew up here in Portland. And so every time I had visited Portland, I just loved it here. It had such a great vibe. And I just felt like after doing so much traveling, like coast to coast, United States and Canada, had a lot of opportunity to see some different places, but just felt like Portland could definitely be home.
Portland does have the boomerang effect on locals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he wanted to come back, and I just loved it here. So I definitely feel like we made a good choice settling down here.
Right on. Tell me a little bit about your songwriting process. You as a singer-songwriter, not as collaboration.
Mm-hmm. I think my songwriting process can be like a little different from song to song. Like it's definitely not like a specific formula that I'll follow for each song. But it's interesting. Like sometimes I'll kind of just get like a melody in my head, or even just like a concept in my head of something I want to write about. A lot of times for me, the music and the words will happen at the same time, which I love. I just love when it flows together like that. It feels very organic. And it just feels like the song is wanting to write itself, It doesn't always happen like that, though. So sometimes I'll definitely sit down, with pen and paper, with guitar, and try to hammer something out. I think probably like most singer-songwriters always keep a journal of just like poetry and thoughts. So sometimes, taking poems, taking short stories, and just trying to put them to song. But yeah, not too much of a formula, because it can be so different from song to song.
The song you're going to play next, tell me a little bit about the process behind it.
Okay, actually that's so funny. That song actually does have a story behind it. The next song that I'm going to play, it's a song that I titled Santa Cruz. And it actually started almost as like a joke song a little bit. So I was at a festival last summer out in Tidewater, Oregon. And it was the end of the festival. We had been there for like 4 days. And the way that they park the cars in the parking lot, they did something called like hard parking. So you actually didn't have a space behind you or in front of you to get out. So we were completely, because we were at the very front of the row, we were completely trapped by all of the cars. And we probably waited about 6 hours to get our car out to go home. And we were just, so exhausted and ready to be home, like come home and take a shower. And so through like frustration, we were walking through the campsite yelling out the license plate, like trying to get them to go. And so the funny thing is the car, it had California plates, and then the license plate holder said Santa Cruz on it. They had a bunch of Santa Cruz bumper stickers, so I felt like it was pretty safe to assume that this car was from Santa Cruz. And so the people that I was with, I kind of told them jokingly, you know what, I think, like through all of our frustration, like we're hot, we're tired, we're ready to go home. I'm pretty sure I'm going to write a song about this. And so then I did. It was just one of those songs that kind of wrote itself just through the story that it had behind it. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That's great. Well, let's hear Santa Cruz.
All right, sounds good. Now, if only I had a way of getting this song to the person that it was about, it would be pretty awesome to just let them hear the song. Because of course they have absolutely no clue that there is a song out there about them blocking in my car for a good 5 or 6 hours.
Don't you have to get back to Santa Cruz? I thought you had somebody there that's waiting for you down in Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz. My heart is racing, standing still, my mind starts pacing, thinking of you. What am I gonna do when you go back to Santa Cruz? No concept of time. Let's leave all this behind. Your car's next in line to get back to Santa Cruz. I thought you had to get back to Santa Cruz. You told me you had someone there that's waiting on you. But is that true? 'Cause you're not making any moves. Why'd you go and tell those lies to me? You know I can't be fooled so easily. But I believed, and now you've really gotta leave. Your time's come and gone. You've done me wrong. This line's feeling long, so get back to Santa Cruz. It's time for you to get back to Santa Cruz. I'm getting sick and tired of waiting on you. You better make a move, 'cause now the joke's on you. I'm calling you out, getting rid of this doubt. You're making me shout. And eventually we made it home. Much, much later than we had planned. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play another brand new song as well. This is a song that I just very recently wrote, so it's not yet recorded. And it's just a song that I wrote kind of about just everything that's going on in the world right now. And it's a song called Mercy. Down on my luck, broken and bruised as I lay on the floor. This bottle I clutch down to the bottom once more. It's not a question that the answer is in store. The whole world is crazy, and I can't take it anymore. I need some mercy. Show me some mercy. We've got more guns. We've got more power than we need. And we write the headlines that play out on TV. And it's not enough that we're destroying all we see. Armed and loaded, we're explosive, a poison remedy. me some mercy. I know, I know, I know, I know, a little mercy's all we need. I know, I know, I know, I know, a little mercy's all we need. I know, I know, I know, I know, a little mercy's all I need.
All right, so this next song I'm gonna do, this is called That Devil.
I said, oh no, I bet you can't go. I bet you can't go outside no more. Said, oh no, I bet you can't go. That devil's outside my door. The fire's burning bright, smoke cloud fills the air. Whiskey's flowing free as the wind, and we're dancing without a care, singing who. I bet you can't go. I bet you can't go outside no more. Said, oh no, I bet you can't go. That devil's outside my door. A circle never starts or ends. Nature will break before she bends. I plant my feet into the earth, and so my heart shall mend, singing who, oh, oh, oh. Oh no, I bet you can't go. I bet you can't go outside no more. Said, oh no, I bet you can't go. That devil's outside my door. Singing who, oh, 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 who, I said, oh no, I bet you can't go. I bet you can't go outside no more. Said, oh no, I bet you can't go. That devil's outside my door. Said, oh no, bet you can't go. Bet you can't go outside no more. Said, oh no, I bet you can't go. That devil's outside my door, singing hey na, hey na na na, hey na, hey na, singing hey na, hey na na na. That devil's outside my door, singing hey na, hey na na na, hey na, hey na, singing hey na, hey na na na. That devil's outside my door, singing hey na, hey na na na, hey na, hey na, singing hey na, hey na na na. That devil's outside my door, singing hey na, hey na na na, hey na, hey na, singing hey na, hey na na na. That devil's outside my door.
That one always warms me up a little bit. Let's see, I'm gonna take this off for a second.
Yeah, catch your breath a little bit there. Take a little sip of water. Breathe.
Nice and warm today.
Oh. So, the last song you played, you've actually got a music video getting ready to happen with that.
Yes, we're filming a music video for that song actually most of this weekend and Monday and Tuesday. So this is going to be the second music video off of my latest EP, so really excited for that. Music videos are like totally new territory for me, but I just think they're so much fun. It's just like another way to do kind of like a creative project, creative outlet, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, and this one's going to be definitely very theatrical.
Is there a theme, or would you have a story going with it?
Yeah, a little bit. So I mean, you know, kind of just from like the sound of the song, it's got a little bit of that, you know, sort of like folky carnival kind of vibe to it. So we're doing a little bit of like a barn dance party, and there's going to be some people dressed up in sort of like kind of like the circus left them behind, I guess you could say, would be the best way I could describe the vibe. But we're gonna have like some people spinning fire and all kinds of stuff. So it's gonna be a little moody and a little theatrical, that one.
That sounds like fun. I'm thinking like 7 Feet Under the show.
Oh yeah, totally, exactly. It's got a little bit of a little bit of that dark, creepy, almost sinister kind of vibe to it, which is part of the reason why we're going to do the video release party at Dante's. I just thought it was kind of fitting to do that devil at Dante's. So we're going to be doing the premiere of the video and the release show at Dante's on July 30th.
Okay, so that gives them enough time to edit and get it
Oh
going.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that should definitely be enough time, hopefully, or we'll just have to do it live. But yeah, we'll definitely have it ready to premiere then.
So when you premiere the music video, are you going to be performing as well, or is it just playing the video?
Yeah, no, it's going to be a whole show. So we're going to do, that one's going to be a full band show. So we'll definitely have guitar, drums, bass, pedal steel, keys, that kind of thing. So we'll probably do like a full like hour-and-a-half show with an opener to be determined, and then screen the video at the end.
Nice. And you mentioned some of the other band members that'll be playing with you.
Yes, yeah, that's going to be one of our full band shows for the summer. So
that full band, how did you meet the other members? Not your bass player, of course.
Right. So for this one, it's kind of just a variety of really just people that I've met around town through the music scene. So my husband, my bass player, plays in a few different projects as well. So I've met a lot of different players through that. And so just kind of certain people who have like that style that I really admire, just really good players, I'll just kind of approach them and ask them. Because again, I play solo acoustic a lot too. So some of my shows are solo acoustic or just like a duo. And then I kind of pick and choose which ones are going to be full band and then just kind of bring everyone together.
So it's not a set band member list that you have every time?
Yeah, not exactly. No, I have kind of a couple different drummers that I'll use. Again, I don't know if it's sort of just like a bit of a Portland thing, but a lot of times people tend to be in multiple projects. So sometimes you'll have a show coming up that's on a specific date and someone might not be available. So I kind of just have like a big family of musicians that I'll sort of just call on. So if I were to really like list all of my band members, there'd probably be like 10 or 12 people that I'd have to give credit to, but it's usually only like 5 of us, at a time per show, but it can certainly rotate.
You're not going for the huge Loch Lomond style.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it's not like the Arcade Fire or any of those like really big, like Typhoon has a huge band. This is more just like, it's a little bit more of a rotation of players.
When you get together with those players, what is the songwriting process like?
I think for the most part, I'll bring the songs to them and they usually have the part sort of already written. So I'll sort of know like what I want the drums to sound like or where I want there to be keys or pedal steel. But at the same time, I definitely trust them to come up with, cool parts on their instruments. So usually we'll just kind of play around with it a little bit, play around with the arrangement a little bit, because we can certainly change it around from how it sounds solo acoustic and just kind of move things around and come up with something different for the band.
That would make for a really interesting band practice.
Yeah, it's fun. It's nice to have a little bit of variety. It sort of, again, keeps that creative process really flowing. So yeah, it's fun. And it can totally be different with the different band members. So sometimes we'll play the same song differently depending on who's in the band at that given moment. And I really like that. I think that's fun.
You kind of get a little different insight into musicians that way.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, everyone has something to bring to the table is the way I look at it. So everyone's got, good feedback and something to bring. And so I respect their creative choices and opinions. So it's a fun collaboration.
That's great. Shifting gears a little bit on you. Tell me about the first concert you ever went to.
So I'm pretty sure the first concert I went to, so I'm from a really small town in Canada, and there's nothing that's really going to come to that town. So I think it was 1997, because I think that was the first one. I went to Lilith Fair. I just really wanted to see, like every artist that was playing. Like 1997 was a big year for women in music, and that was also really when like I was finding my voice as a musician, picking up guitar, writing songs. So Lilith Fair was like huge for me. So I was very lucky that my mom brought me and a couple of my friends to Vancouver which is no small trip. We had to catch 2 ferries to get there, get a hotel room in the city and everything. And we just had a blast at Lilith Fair. So that was definitely, it was quite an experience coming from a small town to, a rather large festival.
Right. And Vancouver is not a small city either.
No, Vancouver's big. So that's always like the fun trip when you're growing up in a small town.
Tell me about that trip.
So the trip, that trip was actually a little bit crazy. Summertime, summertime travel is always a little bit crazy. Lots of tourists, everyone's traveling everywhere. And so again, you have to catch 2 ferries to get to Vancouver. It's not a short trip. And we were on the second of the 2 ferries, or waiting for the second of the 2 ferries. And you could kind of just look around the parking lot and see how full it was. So you look around and you're just wondering, am I even going to get on this ferry? I don't know, but we really needed to get there. So as they started loading cars onto the ferry, we saw that our row was going. We're like, yes, we're definitely going to get on this sailing. That's good. We need to get to the city. And we got right onto the boat, and it was so bumper to bumper. And then they had one of the, I don't know what they're called, like safety crew or something like that, came up and like looked at the safety distance from the cars to the edge of the ship and told us like we couldn't be on the sailing. So we actually had to like back off of the ship, which is, it like almost felt kind of like embarrassing or shameful. We had to like actually go and reverse off the ship and then get to be first in line for the next boat. So we were pretty bummed. It was quite a way to start like an epic an epic trip to the city.
Normally when you get off a ferry, you're driving directly out. You're not backing
Yeah,
up.
you're not going backwards off the ferry. That's not the direction that you want to be going in. Like something feels wrong when you're doing that.
I'm glad you eventually made it.
We did. Yeah, we didn't miss any of the concert or anything, so we still made it for like the whole event.
That's great. Tell me about your first album you ever bought for yourself. Was it one of the members off Lilith Fair?
No, because I think by then, like that was 1997, so I think I definitely had already started my record collection. Or back then it was, of course, CDs, and I probably started with tape cassettes for sure. But the first album I bought that was definitely a CD was actually Green Day Dookies, which I don't know. I think I was in like 4th grade, and you kind of listen to what everybody is listening to, and I think there were just like a lot of kids in my school that just thought it was like really cool. I really liked it. I think Green Day Dookie's a fun album. It's so different from like what I do and what I play, so I definitely wouldn't say it's like one of my like influences or anything, but it was definitely like something of those formative years that I was listening to. It was a fun buy.
So you can embrace the punk rock attitude.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was very fun. It's nice to sometimes listen to things that are like just so far out of your genre,
How did you feel when you heard that Green Day had that American Idiot come on Broadway? Because that's definitely different from the punk rock.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that band in particular, they've changed a lot over the years too. Like anytime I hear their stuff on the radio now, it's like so different than that first album, when I think they were just teenagers when they made it too, so they had that like raw angst kind of thing. So I don't know, I guess maybe that's like the natural progression of a music career. You kind of go from your garage to stage to touring to Broadway. I don't know, maybe that's like the end goal that people are aiming for, is to get to Broadway. It would be pretty awesome, I guess, but I've not seen it. I don't actually know too much about it, except for that I do have a friend that lives in New York that was one of the I guess what's the chorus line, I guess is what you would call it. So yeah, she was in it. So I just know that's super cool, but I don't know too much about the musical itself.
Little shout out there for her.
Yeah, there you go. Emily, woo.
How do you see the progression of your music?
That's a great question. I think, again, like I've been recording over the past few years. I guess I've got some of my albums.
Play Vanna here for a moment.
Yeah, there you go. There were a couple before that too, when I was younger, when I was kind of first experimenting with songwriting and recording. But I think the progression would definitely be that I'm trying to focus more on like the quality of production. Obviously, I think when you get started, you just, you want to do it, you want to record it, you don't necessarily care so much how the end product is, you're just so happy to have it. But now I'm definitely like, having a really good quality product is super important for me. And I think just getting into this world of videos along with it. So maybe, writing a song that could be a single that I'm just really proud of and really happy of, and then focusing on that song as like a radio single, a music video to kind of promote. I think that is something I've definitely been doing, and beyond that, I'm not too sure. I like to go on the road. I like to travel, but don't know if my stuff will ever quite go to Broadway. But you never know. You never know.
There's
Maybe
still
I'll
time.
write something. Exactly. Yeah.
What do you think, just sound-wise? Do you think your sound has evolved and changed?
Yeah, my sound has definitely changed because I think for my first couple, it was just very folky, very singer-songwritery. And I still have like that folk roots because I really like the element of like there's a lot of storytelling in folk music. So a lot of my songs kind of come from like experiences or memories or just like a feeling of something. So I'll write about that. But I've definitely gone a little bit more from the sort of softer side of songwriting to just kind of a little bit more upbeat, edgier, with a little bit more of like bluegrass and alt country kind of vibes, because I just really like those flavors. But it didn't sound like that years ago.
If you could go back in time to your former self when you first bought your Green Day album,
Yeah.
give yourself a little bit of advice as a musician,
Yeah.
what would you tell yourself?
I think to just like, practice a lot, but also don't censor yourself. I feel like that's always my feedback, even to myself now, but definitely to the early songwriter me. I think as a songwriter, you tend to like judge your songwriting process a lot. You say like, oh, this isn't good enough, or this is a bad idea. But songwriting in itself is such a great creative exercise. So it's really good to just kind of get it down on paper, just finish it from start to finish. It's a really good process. So I would just tell myself to not be so critical of myself, not be so hard on myself, don't judge so harshly, because you can write a song and then never play it for anyone. Like, that's the thing. You don't have to write like all these hit songs. So I guess I would maybe just tell myself to, just not be so hard on yourself. I think that's good for a lot of people to keep in mind.
Where does the future hold for you? Like, what's the plan?
Well, I definitely, a few of these songs that I played today were pretty brand new songs that are not on my last EP. So still definitely just doing a lot of writing, and I'd like to kind of continue recording. And I used to always be about recording a full album, like 10 to 12 songs. But now I think that EPs are, well, they're kind of just back in popularity as well, too. Like, everyone's sort of doing EPs. And it's a fun way of doing it, too, because I feel like you can put stuff out more often. So instead of having, like, a 12-song album every few years, you could do, like, an EP every year, technically. And then that's nice because you can really keep your material fresh. So I think with all these new songs that I've been writing, I would like to get back in the studio soon, hopefully. And yeah, just keep recording and doing some more videos.
How do you know when a song's really done, when it's ready to be recorded?
That's a good question, too, because I kind of rewrite songs a lot, too, even after I've started playing them live. And so if I'm doing some songs solo acoustic, then I might bring the band in, and they might kind of evolve and change a little bit, which then at that point I'm glad I haven't recorded it yet, because I want to add different things to it. So it's hard, because in a lot of ways I think you could feel like a song is never fully done. You could kind of always make changes to it. But, at the end of the day, you just kind of have to say, okay, this song is done. We've got the harmonies and all the parts. Like, let's just get it down. But yeah, so I think I definitely have some that are ready to be recorded, and that would be fun to get them down.
In that recording process, at what point do you say, okay, we're going to stop playing with all of the things that we can change on here? Yeah,
that's the other tricky thing, too, because once you're in the studio and you've got all the fun things that you can play around with, I think that is not too tricky for me, because for me, I always feel like less is more, and I like simplicity. So I don't tend to typically do a lot with like effects or a ton of like post-production kind of stuff. I like all my songs to keep that sort of raw acoustic element that they have. So I like to bring in different instruments, but not get too crazy with the production. So I think I'm fairly good at keeping that, not going overboard, so to speak. Like, and I'll get other people's opinions too. Like, hey, what do you think of this? And someone will chime in with like, a super fun little idea. But yeah, at the end of the day, you just have to say, okay, this one is done. But I do like other people's feedback on that too. I'll send you some demos and see what you think about them.
Very fair. So before we run out of time, I want to make sure we plug all the things.
Yes.
So where can people find your music?
So my music is at, my website is a good place to go. It's elkerobitaille.com. My name is obviously a little tricky to spell, but I think it's on the web page. So elkerobitaille.com is a great place to go. It's at iTunes. I also have my music at CD Baby. So CD Baby's fun because they you can get the physical albums from them, but they also do a lot with the digital distribution. But locally, for anyone right here in the Portland area, it's at Music Millennium. So that's a great spot to go for the music too.
Absolutely. For upcoming shows, where's the best place to check that out?
So upcoming shows, you can definitely find the full calendar on my website as well too, under the calendar section. But there's a lot coming up this summer, and definitely a blend of solo acoustic as well as full band. So I have some acoustic farmers markets coming up in June. I've got June 16th is at the Rose City Food Park, which is a fun spot. And then June 17th is at the Gresham Farmers Market, and June 24th is at the Canby Farmers Market. So pretty much like the most opposite ends of town, Gresham to Canby. And then I have some full band shows coming up that I'm really excited for. On July 1st, we're going to be out at Skyway Bar and Grill, which is in Zigzag at the base of Mount Hood. And July 20th, we're going to be doing the McMinnville concerts on the Plaza out in McMinnville. And then, of course, July 30th is going to be our video release party at Dante's.
You have a busy summer lined up.
Yeah, and that's really just a few of them. So like the whole listing is out on the website, and there might be some more just getting added as well.
For people who want to book you, want to get a hold of you, what's the best way?
I think going through my website is a really good way for that. I do have a contact form at the end of my website where people can, enter in their information and reach out to me. Facebook is a great way to connect too. I mean, it's amazing how you can really network with people through Facebook. I'm also on a website called Reverb Nation, where I do tend to connect with new people I've never met before. And also a website called Gig Salad, which is specifically a booking site. So if people are doing particularly specialized private events, anniversaries, weddings, like a private dinner, I have a lot of people reach out to me through, it's called Gig Salad.
Although your brother's wedding was not through Gig Salad, I'm assuming.
No, yeah, I'm going up to Canada actually really soon for my brother's wedding. So, that definitely got to play at my brother's wedding. That's going to be fun.
So you'll be an experienced wedding singer at that point.
Yes, exactly. You can add wedding singer, folk wedding singer to my resume.
Nice. Any other things you want to make sure we mention, plug?
Yeah, sure. So I guess the Willamette Week Best of Portland just came out. Actually, at the start of May is when it came out, so we're winding down to the end of the month. But this was just like a super honor for me. I was very surprised and humbled and just super honored. I was nominated for the Best of Portland in the category of Best Folk Band, which is super awesome. So, of course, the Willamette Week's the local entertainment paper. And you can go on their website to see all the different categories and all the people who are nominated. And it ends on May 31st, so it's coming down to an end.
So before the end of Memorial Day, people can get their votes in if they want to.
Yeah, totally.
And to be nominated in the folk category in Portland is quite the accomplishment considering the amount of competition you have.
Oh, absolutely. It's like all my friends' bands, which is awesome. So I'm so happy for everyone to be, and it's so cool. Like we're all just promoting each other too. Like we're all just supporting each other. We're all in this category together. But it's just a cool thing to even be nominated. I thought that was just really nice.
Very fun. Behind us, we have some of your merch. You've got 3 CDs, the cool little tote. Do you have other merch that you sell at shows?
I do. So I've got, those are my 3 latest CDs. I have a couple older ones as well. I also have t-shirts. The t-shirt has like that design on it, the waterfall design. So I have women's t-shirts as well as unisex t-shirts. They're really fun. Some download stickers. And then, yeah, of course, the bags are always fun because in Portland, you always have to bring your bags to the grocery store. They're just, and it's a nice canvas tote. But yeah, the t-shirts are the newest thing. I didn't bring those with me today. But yeah, that's my main merch that I have.
Is that also available on your website?
Yep, all the merchandise is at elkerobitaille.com. So you can get it mailed to you, or of course you can always pick it up at a show too.
Very great. Well, thank you so much. I think I'm sitting here trying to gaze at the clock to see how much time we got.
Studio.
I think we've got 4 minutes left. You want to play one more song?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I'll actually sing a song that's about, well, not about the tote bag. That doesn't really make sense. But it's a song called Wait For Me, and it's a song that I did my first music video to. And the tote bag with the waterfall on it was actually the merchandise that came out with that music video. So how about I do that one?
That sounds great. Let's hear it.
Rain falls down on my face, and I still can remember the taste. If you go, it would be such a waste. If you go, it would be such a waste. Days go by, and there isn't a day that I don't still try. Got me wondering why, oh why, wondering why, oh why. Wait for me down by the water. Stay just a little bit longer. I'm getting older, my face is becoming a stranger. Hey, hey, yeah. Sun shines down on my skin, and I welcome the warmth that it brings. We're just living, not living in sin. Our love's not a sin, and I'd go anywhere if you promise to meet me there. I will wait for you to care, for you to care. Just wait for me down by the water. Stay just a little bit longer. I'm getting older, my face is becoming a stranger. And everything's starting to look much clearer. And I dive in the water so deep, and my head's washed clean. And I'm starting to see that's just me in the mirror. Wait for me down by the water. Stay just a little bit longer. I'm getting older, my face is becoming a stranger. Ooh, Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Elke, for being on KPSU, and thank you for tuning in to KPSU Radio, Portland's college radio station. Streaming to you worldwide 24/7 at www.kpsu.org.